Okay, if you were like most Americans, you had a few electronics or two under your Christmas tree. Hopefully you got the right thing for the electronics lover on your list. But we're going to find out today what was hot in 2013 and what's going to be hot in 2014. Always nice to have Mike Smith and Dan Thompson from Claris Networks. Good to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you.
So I told you, Dan, you helped me because y'all were on right before Christmas talking about some easy last-minute things.
Yeah.
So I went out and got, I still can't tell you what it's called.
The Chromecast.
Chromecast.
Yes.
For my husband. It was a really fun gift, and it turns out that was on the tops for 2013.
Absolutely. So along with that, there were home automation. Thermostats are typically really boring, but a few companies tried to make that a little more exciting with Nest. And their kind of iDevice connected thermostat where you can control your thermostat and temperatures from home.
What makes that unique, that Nest?
The unique thing about Nest is it'll actually learn your patterns. So if you're away from home, it'll automatically shut down your heating and cooling systems, and it'll adjust so that it'll be nice and warm when you get home too.
Oh, so, that's nice.
There's a few out there like that. Nest was kind of the big one, and then they're moving on. Also, we talked about cutting the cable earlier in the year.
Yes, you did.
And streaming services, Amazon Prime, Netflix, of course, and Roku, Apple TV really brought that into the house, into the home, into the living room, really inexpensively, and those have been a great addition.
And I guess one of the benefits to those people feel is that it allows you kind of a more personalized approach to what you're watching.
Exactly. It changes the way we watch TV. Rather than waiting for a week, we can watch it whenever we want to.
Right.
So.
Xbox was on your list for the tops of 2013.
Yes.
Surprise.
Exactly. Always right. Xbox One, PS4, bringing not only the gaming into the living room, of course, but also taking the streaming services as well and bringing that in as well. So.
And by that you mean that you can use the Xbox, or if you have a Wii, as the way that you watch then
exactly.
your new cable?
Not just gaming, right? But streaming services as well, Netflix, Hulu, and those.
It's an expensive purchase when you buy one of those.
Mm-hmm.
If you have an older model, can you still use it in that same way?
You can use that for some older model TVs. So
okay.
you don't have to run out and buy the 4K TV or anything like that. So
and that
right away.
That Chromecast that I mentioned that y'all turned me onto, it's cheap.
Yeah. That's the thing, right? It's like when we come on TV and we're talking about the latest, coolest thing, it's always like really expensive, right? So yeah, that was kind of the groundbreaker. I think for the Chromecast, it was so inexpensive.
And what that was that little device that you put into your phone or your laptop.
That's right.
And then you can watch it on your television.
You just toss stuff to your TV. Yeah, it's awesome.
Pretty cool. Okay, so now you've got all the stuff to look forward to in the new year.
Yeah, exactly. So CES obviously is going on right now. You guys are going to interview a guy that's there, which I'm totally jealous.
Cool. Yeah.
So you'll get to see all the coolest things. But really kind of what's interesting from CES, what I always take away from it is kind of what can we look forward to in the future, right? So you and I may never own a dishwasher that texts us, but it's interesting that somebody thought of that.
Is that really out there?
Yeah, it actually is. No, it's a real thing. So it'll text you when your dishes are done. Not that I ever really wanted to know that. But what's interesting, though, is that companies like Nest, that Mike mentioned, and like LG and like Samsung, are constantly trying to push the limits and reimagine how we could interact with these age-old appliances that we've had around the house forever, right? So it's just interesting to see their thought patterns. Also new on the horizon, or I shouldn't say new on the horizon, but big this year at CES are the 4K TVs, which we've mentioned that before. Basically what 4K is it's Ultra HD. So if you think about basically 3.5 times the definition that you have today with HD, which is kind of mind-blowing. I don't know, like on some levels, I don't know that we want it to be that clear because then you get like a really good look at my face. And I don't, you know what I mean? But anyway, so 4K, they came out last year, but really just super, super expensive. Only the upper tier, of Americans could afford something like that. But what Sharp has come out this year and said their 4K TV is going to be half the cost of what somebody else's is. Now, we still don't know what that number is, but it's interesting to see that TV makers are pushing that boundary. They're also introducing curved TVs, which is interesting as well. So kind of the idea there is sort of the IMAX experience for your living room. Right. So, as we think about how you kind of consume the world, it's in a curved nature, right? Because we have periphery,
right?
And TVs traditionally are flat. So their thinking is well, you'll have a curved surface now to watch TV on.
Okay, I got to ask you something. We don't have a lot of time left, but people are becoming more eager to do the self-service and customizing what they're watching, thus the Netflix and those things.
Yeah.
If you have cable, it's all going HD, right? So
Right.
if you don't have an HD TV, you're going to have to get one, or you can still use the little box.
Well, so there are down converters. So I don't think that there will ever be a day, well, that's probably going to be one of those classic comments that will get made fun of 10 years from now. But I can't see a day in the near future anyway where you couldn't get a standard signal where your old set-top box won't work anymore.
Okay.
But that's definitely where everybody's pushing. Netflix has announced that they're going to have 4K content. YouTube will also have 4K content. So people are going that way. But, you know, as you remember, when Blu-ray first came out, it was a while before we had HD content for the Blu-ray itself. So it just it takes a little while to...
so don't panic.
Yeah, definitely don't panic. Definitely don't panic.
Okay. Any other trends in 2014? We talked about gaming.
So, yeah, gaming and wearables. So that's the other big thing this year at CES, like the Fitbit, so being able to track your health and things like that. Those are very, very popular. I think we'll see lots of development there in 2014 as well.
They know what they're talking about, and they make it fun. If you can make a thermostat fun, Mike, you've done a good day's work. Dan and Mike from Claris Networks, if you want to get in touch with them, help them, or let them help you with your business or just your needs at home, it's clarisnetworks.com to learn more. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Thanks. Thank you.
We're back after this.